Okay, good afternoon. No response. Good afternoon. There we go. Sounds like my players in the morning. Morning, guys. 7:45 in the morning, trying to get them going. Baltimore Raven Week. Obviously, Coach Harbaugh was a great special teams coordinator prior to becoming the head coach of the Baltimore Ravens. I knew him when he was back as coordinator in Philly when I broke into the league, and he's always done a great job. His teams have always been outstanding on special teams. Good personnel, good coaching. I'm sure he has a little bit of a hand in it. I know Chris Horton's our special team coordinator, does a great job. Jerry Rosberg was a coordinator before that. He did a great job. Chris worked for him. So they have a nice legacy going there. And, that's what I've been studying all week. I've been studying our games from last year and the year before, and been studying all the things that they do with their fakes and their different type of kicks. And they have a rookie punter who I really like come out of Penn State, Stout. I think he's very talented. They've got the best returner in the game, best kicker in the game. So obviously we have our work cut out for us. But as always, I'm very confident and I'm excited about the challenge. And I know our guys are excited about the challenge. And I think we've got a good game plan and had a good day, really good day yesterday. We punted and kicked in the rain. You guys probably saw us out there. But we got some work done inside as well. So today we should be outside and continue to get better.
Bounce back from a rough game and then come out and hit all his field goals.
Yeah, he did a good job. That last one, I think it was 51, he hit it pretty good. He had to drive it a little bit. He's starting to figure out that stadium. The more, obviously, we get him down there, the more experience he gets, the better he's going to be. But as I know he spoke with Phil Dawson before, as Phil will tell you, it's never going to be easy. And every day is going to be a little bit different, but there are some tendencies with the winds down there. So the more experience he gets, I think the more confident he will be in that stadium.
Like the onside kick recovery or the attempted onside kick recovery, I guess AJ's going for that ball. Like, is that just an awareness thing to know where your feet are? Or what do you say after a play like that?
I thought it was a great kick. I thought Ronnie did a great job. And as it bounced away from Ronnie initially, AJ's job was to go try to keep it in bounds. And I think as he was trying to stay in bounds, he slipped and he fell out of bounds. And, the young man said he didn't touch it. So that was a tough one. But, I thought we had a chance there. And the defense did a phenomenal job, forced a 3 and out. And then we still have a chance to win the game. We're down by 9, 4.5 to go, and we muff a punt. So that was a tough sequence there. And because I think really had a chance to win that game.
I spent so much time in practice during the week. I think Kevin's one of the few coaches that dedicates in practice for special teams. Just how frustrating is it to be working on this stuff each and every week and you're not getting the results that you want to see?
What phase are you talking about specifically?
Well, you guys had a penalty lining up for a punt. You
Yeah.
had a muffed punt that turned into a turnover.
You're right. That's frustrating. Yep.
The returns, I think you're averaging around 6 yards per return. You're just not getting a lot of spark there. So I'm just
Yeah, you're right. I think in the return phases we do work hard. Kevin does give us a lot of time. I think there's a lot of teams that get a lot of time, and Kevin's right up there with them. And I think any time you don't help your team win a game, no matter what phase it is, you get frustrated. I think we're covering kicks extremely well. I think we're covering punts well. Corey's had a good year, other than the 2 the other day were for him subpar. We cover them well. They just got a few yards on them. So are we anywhere where we should be or need to be to help our team win games? Not enough. No, I think you're right in that regard. It is frustrating, but I'm a glass half full guy. I'm always positive. I'm always going to be positive with our guys. I'm going to keep coaching with energy and intensity. We're always going to have a good game plan. We're going to know this opponent extremely well, like we always do. Our players who work extremely hard. We got a lot of good young players that this means a lot to them. So I think we're, going forward, we're only going to see improvement, and that's what I expect from our guys, because we do set the bar extremely high. I mean, you look around the league, there's a lot of teams that aren't playing well in special teams. There are teams like the Baltimore Ravens that are playing extremely well in special teams, and we need to be in that upper echelon, and you're right, we're not quite there yet.
What do you do at punt returner now, Mike?
That remains to be seen. We're going to work some guys today, Donovan and Dimitrik, and, obviously Chester's still in the mix because he does bring a little bit of a spark. He's out of elevation, so he'd have to be put on the 53-man roster to get him up. But, that still is a possibility.
Can I just follow
Yeah.
you, sir? Was that unlike him?
Oh, very much so. Yeah, he's a sure-handed guy. I was shocked, and we brought pressure, and it was a decent punt. we brought some pressure trying to get a block there, and our corner slowed the guy down pretty good. The gunner on that side slowed him down enough that he's just got to come up and either fair catch or catch it and make that guy miss, and he'll get 10, 15 yards because he did have some room. He's trying to make a play. Felt bad for the kid because obviously it's extremely important to him.
With his roster, I'm sorry.
No, you're right. No, you're
His
right.
roster status is like now it's out of his control. Isn't it?
100%. Yeah. That may have been a part that he never made an excuse. He just came a silent coach. I didn't make the play. So.
We're off of it, Mike, sorry. Is it, I don't want to say it's acceptable because you don't want him to fumble, but in that situation of the game where he's trying to make a play, you guys are down, could you understand it maybe a little bit more?
No, because you guys know me this is 4 years of ball security. I mean, we haven't had a turnover on special teams since 2019 when Odell was running with the ball like that, and the only punt return he ever returned for us. So he was trying to make a play too. But at the end of the day, they're always trying to make a play. To be honest with you, no matter what the situation, we're always trying to get field position for our offense. And for the most part, even though our return average has not been great, we have done a pretty good job with field position in certain situations. But we need to be more productive.
Mike, there's been, some guys have talked this week about some young players maybe needing to learn what it takes to be a pro, put in that extra time. In your role, you obviously work with a lot of young players. How difficult is that for guys coming into the league to kind of learn what
I like our group. I think we brought in a lot of good young players, and we've got Jordan, number 51. I won't say his last name because I can't pronounce it. I tease him all the time about it. But he's come in and has done a great job. Dakota Allen's been up and down on the roster, but every time he's on, he plays for us on game day, he's playing, as hard as he possibly can. We've got these young players. MJ Emerson, I know he's playing more defense, but he did a great job on punt return last week and holding guys up. I mean, I have not seen what I've seen is guys that are young and eager to learn, that want to get better, that may not know how to get better quite yet, and that's my job. My job is to make sure that they understand how to watch tape. It's my job to understand that they know how to do the techniques properly all the time, and it's my job to motivate them and to help them in any way that I can. And excuse me, I like our group a lot. I think we're only going to get better.
Is that a real challenge, though, for young players in the league to kind of learn, you're not in college anymore, you got to go home and watch film, you got to do...
It's every year. I mean, I think it's hard for some, maybe because they're not used to it. Other guys, maybe that's how they made it in college. But you bring in good players in the NFL, and you expect them to play on offense, defense, and special teams, and you guys know we only dress 48 players, so they have to perform in all those phases and all those different roles. And they might not quite understand that at first, but I mean, we're in mid-October. They understand it now, and I think they know how to watch tape. I mean, I have Miller Forstall, who's on the practice squad, talking to me today about their punt protection, Baltimore's punt protection, because he's on the scout punt team, and he wants to run it the right way. That's the kind of attitude we have in a lot of our guys, if not all of them.
Mike, back to the onside kick. First of all, is Cade trying to keep it on the ground, or is it just random? If it pops up, that's fine too.
I'm not telling. It's a secret.
And AJ, I know he's hustling there, but does he need to know better not to touch the ball?
He knows the rule. He slipped. You saw him slip on the side. He tried to stay in bounds as he was near the sideline.
Oh, if his feet are out of bounds.
Yeah, but he didn't touch the ball, and that's what he told me anyway. But it was a play that Ronnie was supposed to recover, and he did. And AJ should have known better not to stick his hand in there to make it even close. But he's a smart player. He was trying like crazy to keep the ball in bounds and do his job, and that is his job, to get over there because he saw it bounce away. Initially, it bounced away from Ronnie. He was trying to keep the ball in bounds. And we always know to bat it lateral or behind. You can't bat it forward. That's an illegal bat. But when he slipped, I don't think he knew he was out of bounds. It was a tough call. I'm never, ever going to be upset with effort. It was a great effort play, and AJ's a high-effort guy. So I thought it was a well-executed play, and I thought we had it.
Is Cade looking forward to maybe talking to Justin Tucker, or have you encouraged him to reach out to him at all and just?
I bought him a Justin Tucker jersey. We're gonna get it signed pregame. Yeah. To Cade, best of luck in the AFC North. Love and kisses. No, I mean, Justin. I think Justin's a good guy. I think I've had great conversations with him in pregame, and we all know how great a kicker he is, and I know Cade respects him a lot. The guy's been doing it for 11 years, and any young kicker is going to be, a little bit in awe of that type of performance or player that's had those type of performances in his career. But Cade's a pretty down-to-earth guy, so I'm sure they'll have their little conversation who knows? I mean, they're kickers. What do they talk about, right? Kicking. So
Consider Justin Tucker the greatest kicker of all time.
I thought Lou Groza was the greatest kicker of all time. I worked for the Cleveland Browns. I think, you know, I've been around a lot of good kickers. I've coached some of them. I've coached against a lot of them. You know, obviously he's up there. You know, whenever I see him, I call him the future Hall of Famer because I'm sure, unless we block a few this week, hopefully that'll take him down a notch. But he's a great player.
Your opening comments about their special team, are they the creme de la creme right now?
Does that mean cream of the crop?
Same thing.
Same thing. I think so. I mean, they're good in every phase. They really are. And I think, although I thought Sam Cook was an outstanding punter, he was getting a little bit older, and then they drafted a guy, and who I think is an outstanding punter. You know, he's young, but like I said, he's only going to get better. So I think they're very, very good, and I love going against them because it's a great challenge for us. It's a great setting the bar. You know, see where we're at and where we need to go. Me as a coach, and us with our schemes, and of course with our personnel. So should be a fun matchup.
When you lost Jakeem Grant, you knew it was going to be bad, but did you think that it would be this much of a challenge?
Anytime you lose a player of the caliber of Jakeem Grant, you know it's going to be tough. But this is the NFL. This is football. And anytime, you know, in football, it's a violent game played by violent men, and people get hurt. And unfortunately, that's the name of the game at times. And you know, it's my job to make sure that we go out there and do the best we can to next man up mentality and put the guys in position to be successful. So I will never ever use that as an excuse ever. There's injuries across the league every day.
So what makes Duvernay the best?
Duvernay, you know, I went down and worked him out. It was right before COVID, all the restrictions hit. And I worked him out as a punt returner because I knew he could be a kickoff returner. And I felt, and I think I mentioned this to you guys last year before we played him, that he'd be an excellent kickoff returner right off the bat. And it was probably a year away from being a punt returner. And that's exactly what Baltimore did. And the thing that he's got strength, he's got enough size, he can break tackles, he can make you miss, he's got good vision, good ball security. He's, you know, and he's obviously very explosive. You know, he already has a touchdown on kickoff return this year. So he's a dangerous player, and we're going to try to limit his opportunities in both punt return and kickoff return.